Good morning, parents. Good morning. This is Hammer. I'm Manson, and this is a broadcast mainly under the I Need Science agenda. This is my project for teaching and learning, education of your children, and it's very appropriate right now for me to make this video because it's been requested by so many of my routine viewers. So, if quarantines have not come where you are, it is coming. It is coming. It is the way the world is choosing to go. It is the model which appears to combat the coronavirus. And for that reason, where I am, this is our second week of quarantine, really. We were sent on early spring break 2 weeks ago. And starting from Sunday for my kids' school and the coming Sunday for my school, we are delivering an online curriculum. What that means is different for every school and in every classroom, depending on the teacher's skills, depending on the teacher's experiences, depending on the teacher's philosophy. And so it becomes interesting watching what people give in the name of online curriculum. And that's one of the reasons why I want to address you parents. Listen, your children are home. You don't like it? Well, tough. We live with your kids in schools every day. You find your one kid difficult to manage. Well, sorry, we manage 25, 30 of them. So yeah, for me as a teacher, the return of your kids to you, to experience what your kids really are, is a gift, is a blessing. Some of you need to have a taste of your own medicine. You need to know what your kids are like, so that when schools reopen and teachers are trying to communicate with you and express the difficulties your kids present, you might be more appreciative of it. So no, absolutely no remorse, no regret. After all, they are your kids, right? They reflect your values. You enjoy that, but that was just an aside. The kids are home. The kids need to be educated. If you let kids stay home 2 weeks, 3 weeks without stimulation, they would return significantly behind where they came home with, and you don't want to do that. You do not want your kids to de-skill. So let's talk. What can you do? These periods, when you have the kids for extended sessions at home, is a really good period to read. It's a period for you to model what you want the kids to read. It's a period where you invite the kids to choose books so that you can see the choices they make, so that you might guide and advise them on which other choices they should be making, because they are children. They might not critically evaluate literature before they read. But you, as an adult, a discerning adult that is, might be in a position to know more, and you might have more information to present to your children to make better choices. Please take those opportunities. If buying the books is difficult for you, like it is difficult for me, it is possible for you to look at things like Kindle Unlimited, Apple Books. They have so many offerings at the moment, and some of them do offer a one-off payment, and that one-off payment allows you to access a whole collection of books that you can read. So definitely encouraging reading, fostering comprehension, reading habits, very important at this time. If you've not started a reading list with your children for this period, I highly recommend that you sit down with the children and you decide how many books a week you're going to read, and you decide which books you are going to buy, and you create a reading list for each child. So if you got Kindle Unlimited, or you got them access to the Kindle store or wherever, the kids know which books you've agreed that they would download. If you went to a bookshop, you would know exactly which books you are picking up. You bring those books, and actually the process of making the reading list is also an executive skill training for your kids. You would definitely discuss the books for worth before you put it on your reading list. It teaches your kids how they should also evaluate books before they decide to consume. It might be a good time to have a conversation with your children about ethics, morality, yes, so that they can use all those things in deciding what is fit for purpose for consumption and what is not. These are soft skills. These are skills which are not routinely taught in a math lesson. They might not even be taught in an English lesson. depending on the school your child goes to. But these are gaps that you as a parent should fill. And what a golden opportunity right now, when you might not go to work, like in my case, and the kids are home with you. And you can talk to the kids, you can educate the kids, and you can have your own beliefs presented in what your kids receive for consideration. How amazing, how phenomenal. Another thing which is also quite useful, because the kids are here, they would need entertainment, and you will have to be very clever in your choice of entertainment. No, don't put the kids on YouTube for the sake of it, because you don't know, again, what they would consume. You don't know the value some of these shows actually propagate, and the things that are normalized which might not be normal to you. So definitely sit with your kids and come up with an entertainment program. They might read for an hour. Then you might select a movie, and actually in selecting the movies, there are people who decide that they will do classics, moderns, and new releases. Let me explain the principle behind this one. Classics are films that your kids probably don't know. They are films that actually made an impression on you. My classics are films I select for moral value. So I select those classics, I bring them to the table, we all watch it. They laugh at me most of the time because they think my taste is awful. But I really don't care. They talk to me about the photography and how awful it was in the 60s. Well, I wasn't even alive in the 60s, but it's fine. They tell me whatever was awful at that time, but then eventually I also lead them towards the moral of the story. And it's a nice opportunity for me to discuss morality with the kids. We talk about how people's actions affect other people. And so definitely. Another list that you can do is relevant movies. So at the moment, people have all sorts of films. The one I am recommending to watch with mine is a film called Contagion. It's in response to the coronavirus. And because it's in response to the coronavirus, it's actually topical. But Contagion also talks about drug development. It talks about the spread of diseases. It does a lot of technical explanations. It explains the people of interest and a lot of things that I want my kids to actually pick up. I don't want them to just go through the coronavirus episode without understanding technicalities. I want my kids to be competent consumers the next time something like this comes up. I want them to be able to have intelligent conversations they currently are incapable of. And this is my opportunity to suggest books and films which might develop that skill. So Contagion, for those of you who haven't seen it, for those of you who need recommendations to help your children understand what's going on so they stop panicking, you will have to do a little bit of prep work with your kids, because Contagion is a film. So there's a little bit of sensationalism going on there for sure. The numbers rise really quickly. It might actually make some kids panic. So you have to bear in mind, my youngest is 14. We do intellectual discussions of this type. This is not weird to them. And so showing that film to my kids, I know that they are emotionally capable of managing. Yes, they are also cognitively able to process. They are less likely to go down the sensational fear. We will see this more for value because my kids are at a particular age. But don't show this to your 2-year-old or your 5-year-old, maybe without prep. Even your 7, 8-year-olds for sure might prefer. It might be better for those kids if you did some groundwork, if you even stopped certain parts of the film and moved certain things on. It might be helpful. It's your call. You are the competent adult in this situation, and you decide what works best in your prevailing circumstance, because you know it better than anybody else. When you finish, allow your kids to also suggest new releases, and allow your kids to actually present those movies to you. Allow your kids to actually defend and justify their choices. It's a good opportunity to help kids to articulate an argument. They might actually go and do a bit of research to help them come argue their point. You are actually developing your kids' writing skills, because they will write argumentative pieces. And if they learn how to vocalize argumentatives, they are also likely to be able to write argumentatives. You are helping their English development. Reading comprehension is great. So you can start with newspaper clippings. You can have the kids read newspaper articles You can have them read about the spread. You can have them come back to you with different countries and how the different countries are combating the disease, and you ask them which one is best, and they have to really know the content to be able to give you intelligent submissions. So it's a way, again, of helping your kids to find credible sources to read. You might point them in the direction. Myself and my wife.com might not be a good place to go to, because that might not be peer reviewed. Yeah, it might not be reputable. It may or may not be, but there's a gamble there. Kwekuandkofi.com might also not be a good place to go to. It might be better to go to news agencies, but also bearing in mind that the news agencies also do have biases. So you might have to look at some things from CNN, pick it up from Al Jazeera, look at another angle completely, and then come up with a balanced, rounded position from that research. These are all soft skills. These are executive skills. These are things that would not routinely be taught in math classes, in physics classes, because I'm busy teaching your kids the equation for calculating kinetic energy. So no, morality and the rest of it, it would be nice if you thought I had time to be able to do that. I love to get into those discussions, but I'm only able to do that with kids who are in my formal homeroom. That's it. The rest of the classes I teach, they come in, I teach content because my time is actually geared for content, and that's it. There might be a gap in your child's education, and the lead consultant, as I keep saying, in your kids' education is you. It's you who needs to fill these gaps. This is your golden opportunity to spend up close and personal time with your children. This is your golden opportunity to actually take an interest in what they are learning in school, because the teachers will actually send them to you electronically. You will find folders with work. You need, at the end of this period, to know which teacher has what style. You need to work out which teacher is likely to cut corners, which teacher is likely to be thorough, because you would tell those things from what they put in the folders, what work they give to them. And you need to go on the YouTube and you need to SWOT up on that particular interface. Make sure you know, one, how to log in. Make sure your child brings those login details before the last day of school. Make sure that you have logged in and you have access to the right places, the right folders, the right classes. Make sure that you understand how to download resources which have been uploaded for you, and you also know how to resubmit things using the upload route. Make sure that these logistics are in place before your kids come home, because like in my school, I've been out of contact for 2 weeks. These 2 weeks are my spring break. I refuse to check any. Thankfully, my kids actually understood this in the build up to it. A lot of them came back and got what they wanted from me. I've not had a single person trying to contact me right now asking, because this is a break. Okay, we work, we need our breaks so that we can refocus and we can work. So don't wait until people are off on breaks before you need logins, before you start chasing people, because that's just going to be a rod for your back. You are going to have to learn to become very organized. You are going to have to help your kids to be incredibly organized, and it's entirely up to you whether this experience becomes a developmental experience or it becomes detrimental to you and your child. I would prefer that it was the first case. I really would. In this episode, if you're going to allow your children to have access to computers, which they do need to be able to do online work, you need to have monitoring systems. You need to be able to know how to access your child's browser history. You definitely want to check the history in the browser. You want to know which websites they've been to, because some kids will sit behind the laptop and they will play and learn nothing. Some kids might actually take this opportunity to wander to websites which might actually not be safe for your kids. They are going to access the internet for longer periods than typical, and you as a parent will have to be more vigilant. You will have to be more supervisory. You will have to monitor so that you are able to keep your children well and safe in this period. Go and find out. There are simple apps now that you can install. There are apps that could be on your computer which locks your children in particular browsers. Lockdown browsers have been around for 5-6 years at least, if not longer. I have been using them for that period. It is possible for you to lock your children in particular places so they don't wander off to other places, especially for those of you with very young children. So if your young child needs to be on Google Classroom, or they need access to a Google place, they have been given a website, Seneca Learning or whatever, it is possible for you to lock the browser to those specific places so that only those pages are accessible to your child. Once you've done those simple things, you can give the tablet to the kid, and you can also do your stuff. You can wander out, you can cook, whatever. You know that you've done your bit first and the child is safe, and you can take your eye off for a little while. It is irresponsible for you to take your eye off when this basic security is not done. That is failing in a parental responsibility. It's one of your most important jobs, to keep your child safe and well. And safety, cyber security is the most important kind of safety in the era in which we live. You have to be very careful with those ones. I don't intend these videos to be longer than 25 minutes. I'm hoping that we don't go past 25 minutes. The reason being that I want it to be short, bite-sized, consumable videos for you. I want you to be able to watch it, download it, share it with your friends in different places. I want it to be reminders for you, and this week you will see many videos from me which are geared towards helping you become competent enough to help your children in the absence of the teachers who are in our houses, also helping our kids. Enjoy your munchkin. Watch them closely. Learn the truths about your munchkin. And if there are behavior concerns, you observe it, you live it for a little bit, and then take action to fix it. If there are learning concerns, again, you observe it, you take action to fix it, and when you need support, you know where to find me. You can book me for an hour, $40. I don't do free consultations anymore. I can't. It's just not physically possible. If you want me to sit down with you and come up with an educational plan for you, or you want me to have a conversation about whatever you would like, whatever support, go to my website, ama-manson.com. So ama-manson, manson.com, and click on tuition, select, so you can buy a lesson straight from there. It's possible for you to book consultations. So if you go to book now, it gives you options on things that you can book. You pay for it, and then you get in touch with me to arrange time. I am here, I am available, but you know the terms within which I will be available for anything beyond these videos. My charitable donation to the community is these videos that I make, so that those may be stimulus materials for you. But if you require supplementary services, those will have to be on booked time. Anyway, watch the rest of the videos. Make sure you subscribe to the page so that when I upload things, you don't miss them. I'm not in a position to be able to share this again and share it, repropagate it to different pages. I have many different pages. Each one of them has a purpose. I am not going to be able to cross-post and chase so that you can consume. If this information is useful to you, click on the subscribe button. Make sure the notification bell is turned on so that anytime I put anything, be it video, worksheets, link, whatever, on this page, you do get notifications so that you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Please share it, invite other people to watch. Hopefully you might bless somebody with the information we desperately need. My name remains Ama Manson. Some of you call me Mamet. Same, one person. I have multiple names because there are many contexts within which a person can be described or called. I am looking forward to your feedback and comments. If you have any questions, please put it in the feedback and comment section. I will monitor those and I'll respond as much as I can. See ya.